It's a project we're working on. So currently it's targeted as a side chain to EOS, and we're working on extend the EOS with a lot of additional functions so that it can extend to a much larger scale. Also can be applied to a lot of different fields rather than just limited to payments and financial smart contracts. So for a great product, we have a certain perspective to consider. We start from design, marketing, and engineering. So as a CTO, my main focus is about design and engineering. So for Bitcoins, why it's so successful is because its position is very clear. It's targeted and defined as a decentralized cryptocurrency without any dependence to a certain centered authority. So why Ethereum is so successful is because it's very clearly defined as the global universal computing power. So we're also very clear to provide the capacity of cloud computing and fog computing to a larger and to additional level, so that we can use the cloud computing capacity, utilizing the current mobile devices. We can do computing on everybody's phone, IoT devices, so that we don't have to rely on a certain central server such as Google Cloud or Amazon AWS, Amazon Web Service. So that's basically our vision. So for blockchain, we have this. So for every new tech, pioneering tech, we have this Gartner curve that from the very beginning, usually within a short period of time, will go through a big hype. So that's what happens for internet in the 1990s, and also for a lot of new technologies, for smartphones, for big data, for AI, and for today we have the blockchain. Everybody has have seen the price fluctuations recently. So from the observation, we're just going down a little bit from the peak of the hype, and then we're going, actually the downward is very healthy because it gives the blockchain industry a chance to go through every real single industry, so that the real technology can be applied, and then we'll come back just like what happens for every new technology. So why IoT and what is IoT? So EON is a new blockchain platform so that we can use IoT to do the cloud computing. We can use IoT to do the fog computing and cloud computing. So we have 4 layers. On the bottom layer is a sensors layer and hardware layer, which can collect a lot of new information and data. And on the layer above, it will be the data integration. For now, those 2 layers are done through the data centers. In Google, in Apple, in Microsoft, and Facebook, they're all centralized. And all those data are monopoly, in the hands of the monopoly. And as a consumers, or as the small businesses, usually we don't have the privilege, or we don't have the so-called data sovereignty over our own data. They are used to make profit for those big companies. They have unlimited power over this data, and you don't have control or the visibility of all those data, and that's not fair. So for the layer above that is the analytics of things. So usually this will be the computing layer and the connectivity. You connect and joins all those different data to gain insights. So for currently, I would say why AI doesn't work that well is because all the data are in silos. All the data are in the hands of different big guys, the big brothers. And if as the normal person, as a normal small business, you really don't have that capacity because you don't have all those data. And the top layer, the tip of this pyramid is the data. Everybody would have that insight, and they have that capacity to do all those things. So current status quo is all those data are in silos. So we have new services, new value chains, new markets. they're currently not very much available because we don't have the infrastructure ready on hand. That's what Yong tries to solve. That's what we're currently working on, is to connect all those silos. Connect all those silos so that we can have that capacity. We don't have to rely on the big companies. So for IoT, the current scene of the whole industry is seen in the center. The hub is the big data. We have data floating in the air, through the mobile phones, and then we have Internet of Things. We have automobiles, we have the cars will be all electronic. Basically, for Tesla phone, for a Tesla car, it's basically a larger iPhone. It collects everything, drives automatically, collects all the data around you, and you talk with people. It provides APIs so that you can do all kinds of computing. Doing the work in the phone, just like you're doing the work in front of a computer or in front of your iPhone. So for our daily work, we have all this data generated on a nanosecond level, either from office or from industry. So here's the industry, and okay. And on the above it will be all the industry usages. So all this data is very hard to imagine that we can do that in a centralized way, because the data are generated in a very, very short time interval. We collect the data on nanosecond, and then it's very hard. Suppose you upload like gigabytes of data, it's generated from everywhere in the whole society to a Google server. Once the Google server is down, or data will be lost, it's going to cause a lot of loss, social loss. So, for the enterprise point of view, we have the IoT perspective. We have all the hardwares, the protocols. We have cellular data, we have Wi-Fi, NFC, Bluetooth. All is currently available, but they're all just scattered. They're in silos, and all those hardware that work together, engage with each other, and then they send the data upstream or downstream, through control or measurement, and then the data operation has now basically wading into the fields of all different industry domains, like medical, vehicle, retail, home, office, and logistics. And this trend is going to sustain. It's going to be here, and it's going to be larger. So this is a big problem. See, we have, since the explosion of the smartphone, we have generated much more data than we have accumulated in the past 1,000 years. And since the last decade, we get even more than what's happening for the decade before. So that's unimaginable. Just see, we have PCs, which is basically stabilized a bit, and we have the smartphones, which have exploded since 2010, and tablets is going up also proportionally. But IoT is even more. Just see that the blue portion above that tablets, and then that's a big, huge challenge. We need to have an effective governance. We have effective storage, processing capacity all over all those data generated, and the centralized way is not going to work. So the problems is the cost of the connectivity, and we have the lack of trust. Just imagine we have all the scandals that are happening, in Facebook. I've seen all those breaches of privacy and loss of data. That's also happening last year and this year everywhere. And also, it's not future-proof. That only works for the PCs. Barely work for the smartphones. But now we'll have even more data coming in the next decade in the era of IoT. So it's also lack of functional value. And also, the last point, not the least, is the broken business models. We have seen the great success of Google and Facebook and a lot of new companies that hold the monopoly of data profit from it. And it's really broken business.